I'm going to prepare a place for you, and if I go to prepare a place, I will come again to take you to be with myself, that where I am you will be also. Jesus says, I'm going away, I'm going to die on the cross, and I'm going to come again. I'm going to rise from the dead and come again for you, and my victory I will share with you. May 8th, 1945, President Truman announced the end of World War II in Europe. I remember reading my grandfather's letters to my grandmother about, being a Marine in this time and what people felt. I want to listen. I found this, and I want to listen to about a minute of President Truman's announcement that the war in Europe is over. Imagine what people felt as they heard this.
This is a solemn but glorious hour. I wish that Franklin D. Roosevelt had lived to see this day. General Eisenhower informs me that the forces of Germany have surrendered to the United Nations. The flags of freedom fly all over Europe. For this victory, we join in offering our thanks to the Providence which has guided and sustained us through the dark days of adversity and into light. Much remains to be done. The victory won in the West must now be won in the East. The whole world must be cleansed of the evil from which half the world has been freed.
Interesting perspective, isn't it? The war had been won in Europe, but there was still more war to be fought. But they knew the victory was secured. It was just a matter of time. And so the people rejoiced in that day. When Jesus Christ goes to the cross and leaves the tomb empty, he says, "It is finished. It is done. Sin is defeated. Death is destroyed." But the spiritual battle continues. There's still more war to be fought, but the victory is assured. Kind of how we feel about Putin right now. In a couple hundred years from now, should Jesus not return by then, people are going to look back and they're going to see Putin as a loser. Putin's not going to win. It's just a matter of how much damage will he do and how long will he do damage. That's the message of the book of Revelation, by the way. Makes me sad when people mess with the book of Revelation, make it a closed book to so many people. The book of Revelation is a really simple story. It's the story of two stories. There are two kinds of people. There are lower story people who live for the earth. They're people of the earth, the book of Revelation talks about. And then there are the people of heaven. The people of the earth are committed to the earth. They're committed to culture. They're living for this time. They're of the world. But then there are people of the upper story. There are people who live for Christ. There are people who live for eternity. And the reality is sometimes it looks like Satan is winning. Sometimes it looks like the lower story is victorious. But the victory has already been won because Jesus Christ won the victory on Calvary and at the empty tomb. And so now we live confidently in the victory. The only question is, what part of the victory will we share? The only question is, what side of the battle will you be on? And so we don't conform to the immorality of this day. Jesus defeated that on the cross. We don't get intimidated by people in the lower story who try to convince us that the immorality of this culture is going to win the day. In the future, we will look back and the immorality of our moment we'll see it was already defeated. It was defeated all along. Satan is already defeated. Throughout the book of Revelation, they're already defeated. The dragon has the marks of death all over. There's a short time where it appears there's victory. There's a real time where there is pain, but ultimately the victory is won. And so we live in confidence because Christ has won. Game over. Victory won. I go to prepare a place for you. Hebrews chapter 12, verse 1. Let us run with endurance the race that lies before us, keeping our eyes on Jesus, the pioneer and perfecter of our faith. The pioneer, he goes before us. For the joy that lay before him, he endured the cross, despising the shame, sat down at the right hand of the throne of God. So we consider him who endured such hostility from sinners against himself, so that you won't grow weary and give up. I just hope you play like you're on the winning team. I hope you're on the winning team and not deceived by the false victories in the lower story. Jesus says, I'm going to prepare a place for you. I've won the victory already.